The cordless drill. This is the tool of the trade for car stereo installers. I remember having one of the early Makita cordlesses back in the 80s. And it was awesome. You could pull a dash of an Oldsmobile Cutlass Sierra in 30 seconds. Anyway, I'm going to talk a little bit more about car stereo installation. A friend of mine saw my video, the one about car stereo, and he said, what's the weirdest place you've ever installed a car stereo? Well, I wouldn't say place, I might say thing. Some of the vehicles that we used to get were pretty quirky. Probably the weirdest thing was the Polka party bus. There was another one. I'll tell you about this one. Came into work and there's this Chevrolet Suburban. This is like a 1978-79 Suburban. The very, very boxy type. 455 engine in it or something like that. And but it had been custom airbrush paint job. And it had the silver seraphim. And it was like black and red and pictures of clouds and this little angel flying through the clouds that looked like Wayne Newton. And it was like, what is that thing out there? Oh, it's an install. We've got it all day. It's getting a whole bunch of stuff. Well, where are the keys? I'll get started on it. Oh, they're still upstairs. And the way it kind of worked, this place was built into a hill. The shop was down below. And we had this door that you opened and they'd throw the keys down. So I called up, say, hey, can you give me the keys for this Suburban? And they're going, you mean the silver seraphim? Okay. So the guy opens it up and he throws the keys down to me. It hits the ceiling fan that was on and flings them into the warehouse, just like into the dark warehouse, which was a disaster. It was a rat's nest. It took us 3 hours to find the keys, moving boxes and looking on shelves. It was the craziest thing. And then we started to work on this. I get into this thing. It's this custom velour interior. It's like Liberace inside. And there are all these pictures of Wayne Newton, the Las Vegas entertainer. And I remember putting a CB into this thing, a car stereo, a bunch of speakers, a third brake light. It was really something. Oh yeah, and a radar detector. That was the other thing that went into it. And the guy that picked it up, he just loved it, and he was going to drive it down to Las Vegas to see Wayne Newton in. I guess he lived in this thing on the road. It was something else. But I got to tell you about this party bus. The store manager said, hey, do you want to do a mobile install? I'm going to go with you. This one's kind of special. And special means we'd sold them a lot of stuff and fussy customer. So we drove to this metal fabricating shop in Waterloo. And there was this German guy. And he came out, and there's this old Greyhound bus. And it still had the Greyhound dog on the side, but it had been painted over. It was coming through. And, oh, the install's going to be in the bus. Okay. So anyway, he opens the door of the bus. You know what they're like this. And inside, it's like little Bavaria. It's like a Bavarian brew house. It had leather and wood and barrels and a bar, and there was a hot tub and a boar's head. This thing was unbelievable inside. I almost lost it laughing. I had to contain myself. And so I went in, and he said, well, I'd like the stereo here and speakers here. And oh, the other thing, he had a TV he wanted hung on a bracket, a CRT TV, and he had an inverter for it, and a VCR Betamax videotape recorder. And okay, yeah, we'll work on it. And we had power out there. And I remember when it was done, went and got the guy, and he came out with beer, brick beer, from Waterloo. And he said, oh, let's party. And he came out and he had this tape, and it was Walter Ostanek. Where do I put it in? Where do I put it in? I'm so excited. Turns it on, puts in Walter Ostanek, the polka music. And I'm telling you, I was looking at the manager that I worked with, and we were just like, but we both actually had half German backgrounds, we got it. And I said, well, what do you do with this party bus? And he said, oh, Oh, I'm going to drive it down to Frankenmuth, Michigan, and then to Pennsylvania, to where Walter Hostenek lives, and then come up through Ohio, and we're going to take about a month and go through all the little German towns. Wow, this is great. And you could sleep in it in a kitchen. I'm sure there was a rouladen and schnitzel in good supply on that. It's kind of a cool job. Some of the other stuff, like I did a couple of yachts, motorhomes, speedboat. Oh, the horse trailer, the horse trailer. I almost forgot about that one. This guy came in and he had a vintage Chevelle station wagon with a trailer hitch and a horse trailer on the back. And he comes in and he said, I need a stereo. And he said, I need a stereo that plays cassettes. Oh, we got those, lots of them. And okay, I've done lots of, what's that, 69 or 70? He goes, oh, no, not in the station wagon, in the trailer. Oh, really? So anyway, he already had a stereo in the station wagon. He wanted us to get some wiring back to the trailer so that he could have the head unit up front but control the volume so that the horses could listen to nice music. And he said it keeps them happy when he's driving down to different places to show his horses. And I thought, that's pretty cool, you know? Horses. There are lots of other, like all kinds of different muscle cars and collector cars. And there's one guy, Lulu's Roadhouse, Kenny Hollis, who's the MC, and he was also in the band Copper Penny. I remember working on his car. I'm trying to think what that was. It was a Buick or something like that. And it was kind of interesting. And he was telling me all about Jerry Lee Lewis, who had played there, and Roy Orbison. That was kind of an interesting one. You met such great people and such wacky cars. You had to be very versatile and very flexible to get in and out of these cars. But then I moved on to other things, but I just thought on the audio files, if you want to hear about some wacky stuff and related to car audio and home audio, keep in touch. Thanks for watching and listening.